Hello there and welcome to Medieval Dynasty 2.0. We are on the Oxbow map, and this video here is going to be about tips on the second season and beyond after we had our first season's best start. And what are we going to do for that? Because you might have the same problem I did while I was doing my testing on that. We have all that flax that we got from our fields, like 200 and plus hexes worth of field of flax that we harvested. And then what? What do you do after that to optimize your town's build? Well, the go-to thing usually is to double down and start making cabbages on the next summer season, right? Because that's the only thing you can really do after you harvest the stuff. But that means you got to go out there and buy some more fertilizer, plow all your fields yourself, seed them all yourself, and then it turns out there over 2 days have passed and you did nothing except for grow cabbages yourself. It is good. It's good for money, good for seeds, and good for fertilizer for the next seasons. And that is really a really easy way to go to and get some extra free cash and stuff like that. But that's the catch, and that's why we made this video, because that is not going to be the optimal start for your next season and beyond for your doing stuff, because you're doing all the work yourself on doing all the planting and stuff like that for your cabbages and stuff like that, and you want to start building your town out there, because the object of the game is to build up your city and have more workers and more people. But if you're doing all the work yourself, it's going to get quite boring, right? Just making all your cabbages, plowing all your fields, and then doing stuff the later seasons. You're not going to have stuff done and processed, and to make the most out of the flax is to process it into seeds and then process it once again into into the linen thread, and then linen thread to linen cloth. And we want to process it. Every time you process it, all your resources, you're going to get more and more money, so you can build it up faster. So the tips are going to be I tried both ways, so don't really go with the cabbages. So don't build the cabbages. You want to get your workers. So the first thing you're going to want to try and do is build a little farmer's work cut right there and get that up and running right away. Don't worry about your fields. Just let them sit there for now after you've harvested your flax, obviously, and then you have your little barn that I had over there in the other video, which is over there somewhere, and hiding over there. You have that barn going, and you want to build all this stuff here. This is like the next year, and my fields have been planted. I didn't do like any field work barely at all. I've added more fields and stuff like that, and I didn't really do this. I spent my time building stuff because you want to get your people to do there. Because your next goal, I found in this game, is you have to go ahead and get that sewing hut up and running, because after that first season, you're in the summertime there, you can plant the cabbages, but you're going to have to process all that flax and get that flax seed and stuff like that. And when you have the big huge stack that we have of like 2,400 flax, you want to convert that into seeds. That's going to take you a good half an hour or an hour of running this right here, and that's what you do at the end of the season. Basically, you take advantage of the menu system being paused. So once you're in this menu system here in any crafting station, your menu is paused at the end of the season. So once that end of the season bar way up there passes by and gets right at the end of the nighttime there, if you're stuck in here, you can process it for hours and hours at a time. Your hunger and thirst won't go down, and the seasons won't change until you leave that menu. So we're going to do that to get all those flax seeds and flax stalks. But the next season here at the end of fall, you're going to want this thing up and running if you want to do it effectively and do your linen thread. And then that's going to be like, that's all that flax turned out to be over 400 worth of linen thread that you're going to want to get this done. But to get this built, you're going to have to get the technology points up and running and have all the other infrastructure up and running. And of course, you want your farm running for the next season while you're doing all of this. So you're going to be spending your time running around doing stuff. And the best way to use that time, I found, is to actually start getting that worker over there. So you build your 2 houses right away. Of course, that's why we're by the mine, so we can dip into the mine and get the rock easy and, bank all the nice copper and, tin and stuff like that. We can bank that as we're building our houses and getting people to start work for us. Normally you just go on there and you stick a guy on logging, getting logs for yourself, because that's usually the most effective way to do it. But no, this time I found it to be more effective to actually take that first guy and send him over there, start working on the field. So you have that one guy, your first guy is going to start doing all that farming work until for the next year, because you have a lot of fields to do, and it's just one guy. So you got to fuel him up manually with the tools and stuff like that, and manually put the stuff inside his houses, give them the food and the water. All you got to do is build a well, basically. You build a well. You don't need your storage structures and that stuff right away. Get your houses done first. So get your houses and your guy in there. Then you could build your well and give him some water and have him start working so he's right there right away. And then build another house so you can get another guy and start doubling them up and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to get too much guys because you have to worry about your dynasty points once you get capped up right away. And then you got to do those seasonal quests. So you got to run around and do that stuff too as as you go over there and buy fertilizer every season. You can buy as much fertilizer as you can carry in the trips that you take, or just buy the manure, because that's going to be cheaper and you're going to be running out of money and stuff like that. But I bought too much cabbage seeds, that's why I ran out of money, and then I didn't end up using them because I don't need them now, basically. But anyways, to get those technology points up there, that's going to be your next challenge on here. So that is not, you might think that's not a challenge, because if you played this game before, getting up to like the first 100 in the product technology wasn't too hard, but now it's a little bit harder because all of the values have changed and stuff like that with these recent updates and stuff like that. And if you're new to the game, then you won't notice anything different because you'd be the first time playing it. But anyways, getting those points up there could be a challenge while you're doing all this other stuff, especially if you're spending all your time farming, because your technology points won't go up at all. The key ways to get that to go up is basically build a whole bunch of tools, but there's only so much sticks and so much rocks you're going to be running around and pick up to make these tools to get your stuff up there. A good thing to make is those simple bags. So when I say go to the town over there and get those quests, there's a couple moose over there you can kill off and get some nice big chunks of leather, so you can build those things there. But that's not going to do enough for you. So that's going to mean the second guy you're going to get is not going to be a logger once again. So the second guy you get for your town, I would recommend having the woodcutting station, obviously, because you definitely need one of these things going up and running as fast as possible. But you're going to want to stick this guy here on making sticks. Yeah, just have him collecting sticks. You don't even need to make him any tools and stuff like that. He'll just go out there and collect a whole bunch of sticks. And why are we going to do that? Because it is a race to actually get to that 100 points and get that sewing hut built by the end of fall, while you're doing everything else for that summer season too. And then the fall season, building houses and stuff like that, it's going to take you a lot of time, and you might not be super fast at it. I might not be super fast at it, but that is basically the whole thing you're going to want to get up and running and going to get that going. So the other thing to do is, when I'm getting out with the sticks on there, is go ahead and get the sticks, because working over here, you don't get much points for it, but the wooden spoon right there just takes 2 sticks, and it's like 0.1 technology points. So if you have 1,000 sticks, you're going to make 500 spoons. That's going to be 50 technology points, and that is halfway there, right there. And that won't take too long, because spoons are pretty fast to make. You don't have to worry about doing stuff like that. And your guy's collecting all these sticks for you. You're cutting down all these trees that were over here, the big trees and stuff like that, gathering all the sticks yourself too. So you're going to make use of them and get that technology points. And then once you have enough technology points, you can of course build a smithy. And then since you've been in there getting all the stone for the walls, because stone walls on your house is the best thing to do to get them all, give them that bonus for the productivity and their mood and stuff like that. So you want to do that right away with the mine over there. So you get that. And of course, this is where we are in the map, by the way. So if you didn't know, the main town right here and right here. If you're playing the game for a while, you'll know exactly where this is. Easy mine to get access to for your town and stuff like that. So yeah, you can have all that extra tin and copper and make it and use that on the smithy here and convert everything you can to bronze bars. Don't worry about the copper tools. You can do that after you make bronze, because bronze is going to give you, like, this is 0.1, and this one here is going to be 0.2 points for making all that bronze that you have, that you can have. And then you can craft some more tools, the copper tools after that, because they'll be worth more points, obviously, but you're not going to have that too much going over, because that's just a side thing we're going to do to get the extra boost in points. So those are the 3 key things, and getting your tools done, getting that 100 points in that time frame while you're doing everything else, of course, is to build a whole bunch of tools for your guys, and then build a whole bunch of spoons. You stack them up and do that when you have some free time and enough sticks, and of course the smelting and stuff like that. So you got the smelting, the spoons making, and that for your go-to thing as for getting your technology points up fast enough to build this at the end of the season, so you can process all that nice linen cloth as you see fit. So just when you're doing this part right here, make sure the linen thread is not a problem. It's the next season on how much cloth you want to make on this fabric right here, depending on what you want to craft. So whatever it is you pick for your go-to thing that you actually have technology for, that you want to do, for your stuff, is going to be what you're going to be making to make your most profit off. And I think the linen shirt is probably your best bet, because it takes the most fabric versus thread, and that's what you want. The more fabric you have, the more processing that is done. That means the more profit you're going to make for it being processed. Basically, that's how it works out, and you're getting more technology points for it too, because it's a bigger item type thing. It just takes a long time, and that's what you want to do at the end of the season. So make sure when you're making your fabric, make it the 2 to 3 ratio on there. So if you have like, that 400 thread, just you have to do the math manually because that's too complicated for my head to comprehend how much thread I got to keep versus fabric when you have like 400 thread on that season for crafting purposes and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the idea. Maybe just process 100 of that into cloth, and that would be 100 versus 300 after that, so that wouldn't be good enough. So yeah, maybe 150 or so. But yeah, it depends on how much, if you want to do that at the end of the season or right away yourself. But the whole thing is to build more and more houses, get more and more people going, and double them up. The first person I recommend you getting is your opposite sex. Since this is the Oxbow map, you want to go there and play a female probably, so then you can get the male and you can flirt with them every day. And so you can go on there and flirt with them. I would recommend saving it before you flirt with them, just because lots of the stuff just gives you negatives for no reason whatsoever. It's kind of a pain in the butt, and get that affection level up as high as possible before you marry them. Usually, it's up to you, but I like to wait till I get to 100 before I say, okay, let's get married. And then you can stick them in the same house, and that means you can have less houses built and more workers going for the start. But that's just the start. We don't want to have build as much. We want to build everything else effectively as possible. We want to build more of these things. We want to get, you have to get this your storage unit built. You got to get your little storage shed built, and your well should be built already because it's just more convenient. Excuse me. By the way, you gotta get that bathtub up and running so you can get yourself clean. And to do that, if you forgot, it's furniture, decorations, and workstations, and then laundry stuff, and that's where the wash tub is, because move this stuff around is a pain in the ass to find. But yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself clean, and that's where that is. Because I had to make that special note because that's a pain in the ass to find sometimes because of the menu systems. But yeah, that is basically the rundown of what you're gonna be doing on the next couple seasons. Is getting that, because this is after the first year. This is the next season. I'm planting my next harvest of flax. I'm planting fields of 420 flax because I just happen to have 420 on my field. So I thought that would be, I'm going to stick with that because that's, a nice number to have. So 420 flax for the next season. I did no work myself on the fields. The farmers are getting ready to harvest it themselves. And then after that, they can plant a couple of fields worth of cabbage. And I was able to build everything else up here. So I don't know if that's fast or if that's good or not in the long run, but this was a lot faster than just building cabbages and stuff like that because I have all this stuff worked there. I got my donkey and he's geared up, and so he's almost like a horse now because he's got all the stuff on there built up there. I got all the Dynasty reputation points for running around doing some of the quests already. Got some pigs already up and running to collect manure, and you got all those workers. Like, I don't have much for workers yet, but yeah, I still have this many workers up and running right now. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 guys or something like that. Can't count that fast, but anyways, you have that much workers already going by the end of the first year. I think it's an pretty good start, and all that stuff has been processed nicely for all your needs basically. So your town is growing at a good pace versus not having any of this stuff built. Because when I was doing the cabbages, I did not have enough technology points to build this up there. I did not have enough time to build enough houses to get enough people to do stuff for you. So yeah, getting the people to do some of the work for you and take the burden off your shoulders, and then as you're doing some more of the work yourself, it gives you a gain for the later season. So you're banking on the productivity of your guys and your productivity of building up your infrastructure on your town versus doing all the farming work yourself at the end of the day. So that's what I recommend for you to do. Basically, that's the main purpose of this video, is to emphasize the why we are building our town up there and the goals for doing it and getting all our stuff up and running. Because I have, like, all, as you can see, I have all the basic structures have already been built, and and I'm still going to be making a whole ton of stuff for the next season for the profits. So I'm going to be making a ton of money for the next seasons off of this, and my guys are going to be having enough food for themselves. I don't have to do anything for them basically, because they're going to do a field of cabbages. We'll feed them off nicely, and the pigs are up and running basically. So yeah, your stuff is going to be almost self-sufficient on the farming needs right away with just a few people, and the rest of the people can be in there for support. So you get more loggers in there. You actually have them on logging. You can get guys going on there and making straw if you want, because another effective way to do that is to have those excavation workers on here, excavation sheds. You can get these guys here working on straw, because straw, look at that, 2 workers are getting 340 straw versus whatever stones you might get, all of these other products, and they don't even use tools either, so you don't have to worry about that. and they gain their experience levels probably a lot faster on that straw. I'm going to do some videos on confirming that one there. That's going to be my next goal, is doing tests on that. But you have that, and what I was doing for my go-to was the actual straw hat, because it just uses a linen fabric and all that straw up there, and so you're getting your workers leveled up a little bit faster, and you can use all that fabric for just this. But it didn't work out too well because, well, these are fast to produce, so it's good for the seasonal money to make. But I just didn't have enough straw to make it worthwhile to do it at the end of the season, because it's just not enough guys to do it. Maybe if you put, maybe if you made like 5 extraction sheds that had them all working on straw, then you might have a chance at getting it effectively like that and making all those hats. But yeah, that didn't work out there. That's why I said to the linen shirts and stuff like that instead of doing it the way I did it. Make a little bit better of a plan than I did, because you can maximize your profits more on that if you need to, basically. And I kind of like to have the bigger profits, because the taxes in this game get crazy. I'm talking like $30,000 a year type of thing, so you're going to want to make all this money as you build your town up legitly, basically, right? No cheating and no carrying weight max and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.